Hello there, welcome back to the show. It's Richie here from Dawiafterdark. Today we've got something a little bit different, but also really, really important, especially if you are into resin prints and like miniatures and also supporting small businesses. I'm joined today by Tom, the man behind UK Resin Print. You might already know him. I mean, you definitely already know him, but recently he's had to shut down his Etsy store, unfortunately, and he has launched his own website. So today we're going to talk about what happened, what this means, and what is coming next. How's it going, Tom? You okay?
I'm really good. Thanks for having us on, Richie. It's good to be back on the channel. It's been way too long.
Yeah, no, it definitely has, mate. I mean, there's been quite a lot going on for both of us in that time. Obviously, we'll talk about what's been going on with you. I think a lot of people know what's been going on with me anyway. But yeah, how's it all doing?
It's good. It's good. These big periods of upheaval in your life, you have to take them positively, and there's a lot of positive things that have happened from it. But we're out the woods now, hopefully.
No, good. So for the people that don't know, could you just tell us a little bit about UK Resin Print? So I think before we get into the new changes and stuff, so how did you get started with it anyway?
So UK Resin Print was one of the bigger fantasy resin miniature stores on Etsy up until roughly a month ago today, as the day of filming. I was on there for about 3 years. I've been selling resin miniatures for about 5 years overall. It started off as just a hobby, we're all looking for a way to net zero our hobbies in terms of expenses. This is an expensive hobby. There's no sugarcoating it. It is what it is. And I started off trying to just find a way to do it for free. Found out through friends, they were just saying, you're pretty good at this. You should try doing this for a job. So that's when I set up the Etsy page and was doing really, really well for the last couple of years, specialising in 28 and 32mm fantasy miniatures. So not Warhammer focused at all. There was players from 9th Age, OPR, all sorts of different systems that were using miniatures for their wargaming needs. And one of the biggest things about it, and one of the things that I wanted to do from the get-go, was I wasn't in it to make buckets of profit. I saw how much a bottle of resin was. I did the maths on the operating costs, and I noticed that about 4 to 5 years ago, the price of miniatures was far higher than what I assumed it or expected it to be. And then when I did my own costings, I was like, we don't need to be selling things for that price, and customers don't need to be spending that money. So I brought it down as low as I could to try and make this hobby more accessible to people. That was the main goal, was to try and decentralize wargaming from being kind of a rich kids club into being accessible to basically anyone who's got a tenner lying around in their pocket can now pick up a skirmisher game. You could play Mordheim or its equivalent for 10 or 20 quid, which is something that you haven't been able to do since the 90s.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, anything that can kind of make the game, or kind of any game that you're playing, more inclusive is definitely better. Like, the more people that can play, the more people that can afford it. I mean, let's face it, like, the world's expensive at the moment. Like, everything's expensive wherever you are. So if it's easier price point for people to be able to get into a game, then that's just a net positive for everybody. For those of you who don't know, me and Tom were friends a long time before the old world came out. We were friends a long time before he started UK Resin Print. So I've known Tom since he was back being a chef, and tried to offer advice and stuff as the business was going, because I've ran my own business now for probably like 10, 15 years. So I was trying to give as much advice as I could, and something that he always tried to put at the forefront was trying to make everything as affordable and not just focused around profits, which I can really respect. And to be fair, like, this video, the reason that we're doing this is we're going to talk about what happened with the Etsy store, and also we are going to talk about where the company's going in the future. And the reason that I wanted to talk about this is basically Tom is one of my friends, and I just wanted to help him out. He's had quite a big thing happen to his business, and also as well for everybody that has had miniatures from Tom in the past, like, they're great quality, and he is doing a service to the community. And a lot of stuff that I try and do on my channel is promote people who are doing good stuff for the community. And also, if I can help a friend out in the in the meantime, then that's always good. So
you're too kind, Richie. You're too kind. Thank you.
No, it's cool, man. It's cool. That bit wasn't even scripted. So let's have a little talk about what happened. Obviously, for everybody out there who's expecting us to just shit on Games Workshop, we're not going to do this. They're a company, they've got their own prerogatives, so there's going to be no bad mouthing. Like, everyone's in their right to do their own thing. But
I do what they did. If I was in their shoes, I would have done the exact same thing. The exact same thing. Because it's not a charity, it's a business. They have shareholders, they have people who have stock in the company. They need to make line go up. I was stopping the line from going up. I understand that. To a negligible degree, but I was still stopping it. So, anyone who's familiar with Etsy, who's vaguely been on the website or around the social media to do with it in the last 12 to 18 months was probably aware last summer Etsy put out a huge statement and went, we're not having 3D printers on the website anymore. This was mainly directed at the FDM market, so nothing to do with miniature wargaming. This was things like your slinky dragons and your little fidget toys and stuff like that. And Etsy turned around and said, unless you are the sculptor and creator of these items, we're not going to let people on our website anymore sell things with merchants' licenses. And that's how I operate. UK Resin Print buys merchant licenses currently from 6 different sculptors. And that then gives me the permission to sell the files that I purchase from them. All very above board. Everything's there. And Etsy then turned around and went, we don't want to have this anymore because the website's getting flooded with a lot of overseas. In their statement was it was getting flooded by a lot of Chinese businesses that were popping up faster than they could close them. There was a lot of intellectual property infringements. Now, I didn't get hit at this time, but that set off an alarm bell in my head. And I went, right, I need a plan B here. It's a bad idea to have all my eggs in one basket. So I opened up an eBay store, got a very small amount of things on there. And I went to my friend Dave over at Yellow Productions and got a professional website set up. So that was working in the background. Now, around October of last year, Games Workshop got very, very aggressive in terms of their protection of their IP policies. Now, every website and every kind of e-commerce platform has got something called the IP infringement policies. And what this means is if you upload something to their website, if it conflicts with someone else's intellectual property, they as the owner can submit a claim to the website. It gets you taken down, gets the thing taken down. Games Workshop was finding that a lot of the things I was selling was conflicting with their intellectual policy, and they asked Etsy to take it down. Whether it did or it didn't, that's not what we're here to discuss in this video. I'm not here to throw shade. They believed as a company that I was infringing on their rights. Etsy then followed their policy, took down those items, and then in March of this year, I had 260 items taken down in a single day. These were from all different sorts of things, and they were taken down for one reason. They thought it was too similar to one set of models. This then triggered something within Etsy that then permanently suspended me from Etsy. I do have a chance to appeal, do have a chance to get the page back, but I can't sell anything I used to sell on there. So it would all be brand new products. So even if it does come back, it's still kind of dead. So that's what occurred. I don't want to throw shade at anybody. And I want to come out of this on a little bit of a moral high ground and just say it happened. There were mistakes made by myself. I probably skirted a bit too close to the line, flew a bit too close to the sun in some situations. But also, you could say that someone overextended on their usage of the IP policies. So it's a bit of a give and take situation. But it happened. So there we are. So as of the 16th of March, I was no longer allowed to trade on Etsy.
Yeah, which is a little bit of a nightmare. I mean, for everybody out there, like my t-shirt line with kind of a copy of Gotrek, so a Kotrek, was also taken down from Electric Witch as well. So I think Games Workshop were just going through a little bit of a time where they were just kind of taking down everything that was kind of relating to the hobby, which I completely respect from a business standpoint, but on a personal level, it's a massive shame that they are going after companies that are actively like getting people engaged in their games. I mean, I completely get it. I just think it's a little bit of a shame for the community, but on a business standpoint, like what can you do? But what impact did this have on your business anyway when they had to shut down the Etsy?
So it's been my full-time job now for just a little over 2 years. This was my sole income, my primary income, and it was doing so well to the point that I still am sponsoring Team England for Warhammer the Old World and sponsoring Dawiafterdark here. And also, just want to take a real brief moment. Thank you, all of the Dawiafterdark customers who have come to me. You've let me pay rent this month. So thank you, genuinely. Didn't think it was going to occur, was ready for the worst to happen. But it's specifically Richie's customers, Richie's viewers who have become my customers that are keeping me afloat right now. So genuinely, thank you.
It's
Yeah.
an amazing community, and honestly, it's just really nice to see that everybody rallies around other people in that community. Like, to slightly tangent off, like with everything that's kind of happened on my end as well, with people joining the Patreon, like it's just amazing to see, and just thank you so much for everybody. We are normal people. I know that we sit here on the telly box and talk to you, but we are just completely normal people. And I think a lot of people don't realize like how big of a deal stuff like this is for small businesses. So I just really hope that we can kind of like push you through and get everything sorted for you, mate, and hopefully get the business on the website and the through traffic as high as it was on the Etsy, and start kind of going through there. I mean,
I was lucky that that what happened last summer prompted me to get my own website going. If anyone who's tried to build their own e-commerce platform before, now I've used WordPress and WooCommerce, it's done a lot of heavy lifting for me. It still took a professional website company 6 weeks to get it fully working. And it's taken me another 6 weeks working 12 hours a day to populate it full of items. It is not a quick process. So it's really lucky for me that I had the foresight to do it back then. Because had I have waited until March and then the day it shut down, I was like, I need a new website, it would have been game over. To have lost 4 months of momentum, it would have been game over entirely.
Yeah,
so,
no, I can imagine. It's yeah, stuff like that's a nightmare as well, man. Like I don't really walk out of the engineers guilds that much, so I'm terrible at technology. I'll just stick to the stuff that I do know. Like I couldn't even get a Shopify to link to my YouTube, so I've got no idea. It's just so technophobic.
I was saying to Richie before we went on camera, I thought I was really good at technology before this process, and now I realise that technology passed me by in about 2003, and I am nothing but a plebeian and a fool now who does not know how to do anything. Bless him, Dave, who's my friend who built the website. I have a meeting with him once or twice a week where he just goes at least 3 times during that meeting. So yeah, I've got a lot of respect for people who build websites, and anyone who says, "Oh, using one of those is cheating," no, it is not. Cheating makes things easy. This is still very difficult. But yeah, so the website's up now. That's the good stuff. So March 17th, we got the website up. I got taken down on the 16th, 17th, it goes live. There was not much sleep involved there, but we got it going. So massive thank you to Dave, and then Mark Langley, who does the social media stuff for Team England. He's also just got a podcast going with Stu over at Miniature Realms, so go check that out. He's been helping me loads as well. So it's been a real community effort from the get-go with the whole website. But now we're selling stuff. But the key thing now is I need to let everyone know where I am. You know, Etsy did one. They took a crap load of money off me. Don't get me wrong. 30% of all sales went through Etsy. But that was marketing that I was paying for. It was them drawing in people to the website, and I now need to do that myself. So that's why we're here. We need to signpost you over there and let you know that it's still going. And there's so many benefits to using this website over using Etsy or even eBay, because I'm not paying site fees to anyone now. It's cheaper for you guys because I'm now able to organize my own deals with Royal Mail. I'm able to offer free shipping over certain amounts. It's 50 quid in the UK, it's 150 quid in the EU, and I'm working on it for Australia at the moment. One of the big things, talking of Australia, just because you guys live on the other side of the planet does not mean you should be paying 6 times the price for models. It's dumb. There's no reason for it. The fact that the plastic comes from closer to you than it does to me means it should be cheaper over there. You know, like Games Workshop's paying millions to ship the plastic from Taiwan probably all the way over the world to Nottingham to injection mold it to ship it all the way back again. And my resin comes from Taiwan as well. So if there's anyone in Australia who is sick to death of paying 4 to 6 times the price for models, check out the resin market. Even if it's not just me, check out the resin market, because you'll go, "Oh my God, they've not price gouged me." No, there's no need to. Don't get me wrong. There's people who charge more than me. There's people who charge less than me. But I feel like I found a happy medium where I'm able to supply a good quality level while passing on a decent saving onto people. I can get a hero model for £3.50. It's nothing. I've lost that today in my car. You know, like we've all lost £3.50 just on a random one. So yeah, there's a lot of benefits to the new website, and I've been told by people who have used it, it's a lot cleaner as well.
Well, this is something I was going to ask. So, what would you say that the differences are between the website and the Etsy pages?
So Etsy sells you data. I don't. Straight off the bat. Straight off the bat. Any large corporation that you sign up for will be selling your data. Now, I've made sure that every single piece of info that I've signed up for, I've got none of the customers opted in. That information is not being shared with me. It's all GDPR compliant. So that's the first big one. In today's world, it's one less person who's going to be selling your all sorts of data to people. I'm not interested in that game. If I was, I would not be doing resin miniatures. So that's the big one. It's cheaper, it's quicker, and the website itself is so much better for a customer to use because you have the ability to say, Tom, I don't like this. Can you change it? And I'll go, yeah, all right. You know, it's that simple. If you want something added to the store that's not currently there, as long as it's under one of the sculptor's banners, yeah, I'll have it up this afternoon. Not a problem. Let me buy the file, make sure it prints properly, and yeah, fire away. So there's this high level of customization that is really difficult to access on other websites. Like I can tell you, when I was uploading things on Etsy, it wasn't a quick process half the time. I'd have to pay to upload it as well, so I'd have to make sure it would be worth my while to even do it. You know, the amount of times I put a listing up that cost me 50p or a quid, and that doesn't seem like a lot, but it builds up. And then no one pays for it, so you're disincentivized to do it. On this WooCommerce site, it's all there. One of the big things that is coming as well is we're going to be doing competitions on there. So I want to start. I've already had some absolutely beautiful models, pictures of painted models sent to me, and I want more of them because I'd love to use customers' painted artwork to advertise the models on the store. Because what better way? You know, what better way to show the quality of these things than to show the quality of your guys' paintwork? And if we get enough traction on that, we can start a painting competition up. We had a crack at it on Richie's Discord last year. It didn't get too much traction, but I was thinking we'd do it again. So if that's something you guys want, leave a comment below on here. Jump in Richie's Discord. Shoot me a message. You know, you can go on my website. My WhatsApp's right there. You can have my number for free. I will not charge you, and you can message me endlessly. You know, I might block you, but you can try. But yeah, like, this is one of the big things. I really think that we're becoming more and more fragmented in this hobby at the moment. It seems like we're having all of these different businesses fight against each other to try and get this little piece of attention that we all have. And I'm like, why can't we just come together instead? You know, I really do believe that the community is what drives all of us towards success. I don't need to be a multi-millionaire. I just need to be happy and have an income. And because of that, I don't need to price gouge you guys. One of the best feelings I ever get is when I see a painted model, and it's not about the quality. It's just the fact that it's finished and someone says, look at what I did. Look how proud I am of this thing that you made, Tom. You made this, and it's made me happy. Look how happy I am. It's the best feeling in the world. It's the singular best feeling in the world. So please do send them over to me. If you think I'm not a good enough painter, the fact you finished it means you're one of the best painters in the world because you finished it. So you're part of a tiny fraction of people in the hobby who have actually finished a model. Like if you take a look on my desk now, 85% of everything is 80% painted. I'm sure yours is the same, Rich.
Yeah, so like, I'm currently in my studio. I've got all of my hobby shame in here as well. So if I actually spun this camera around, which I'm not going to, yeah, there's just grey stuff everywhere. Yeah, but I'm not going to do that because everyone will look at me differently. But yeah, like I think I definitely agree. Like I do think that the hobby is, well, the old world community in general does need to come together a little bit. Like there's quite a lot of fragmentation going on YouTube, especially as well, and in a lot of the forums. Like people are kind of arguing about almost anything, and I think we just all need to kind of come together a little bit more. Like this is a game, we all love the base game. Like if you prefer a different comp or you prefer different models and stuff, like it doesn't mean that the other person's wrong, right? Like it's a game that we all enjoy, and it's that sense of kind of community that kind of drives a lot of the people who are kind of doing stuff behind the scenes. So I think if we definitely can kind of push forward and kind of get that sense of community back, I think that'd be really awesome. But while we're talking about community anyway, what's the best that people can kind of do to try and help out at the moment? Is it literally just go in, having a look on the site, even if they don't want to buy anything, just so you get that through traffic? Or
No, the best way is to use your affiliate code. That wasn't even a setup. That was a totally natural layup. But no, that is the best way, because then you help Richie get closer to buying his house, because he gets a kick every time you spend money. So you help both of us, and we'll love you endlessly. No, so it's, if you can't afford anything, go on the page, favorite something, like it, make an account. You might come back to it one day. Share it with your friends. If you've bought something already and you've got too many of those business cards, which I will keep sending you every time, give one out. You know, if you hear anyone at your club being like, "Oh, I wish I could do this, but it's too expensive," show them my website. I don't just do fantasy anymore as well. That's one of the big things. With the new website, I'm branching out. So I've already picked up some sci-fi stuff. So if you like skirmish sci-fi games set in big cities, you'd like this. World War II historical stuff. So great proxies for a whole host of games, and also some World War Weird things. So for those of you who aren't familiar with World War Weird, it's what if World War II didn't end in 1945 and instead the occult started getting used in World War II stuff. So you've got like Nazi zombies and mecha suits and robots and stuff. Very, very cool.
well, that's the video demonetized right there. But yeah, no, to be fair, there's actually quite a few people playing K-47, which is the World War Weird game.
Yeah.
Done by Warlord Games. Brilliant game for anybody out there. I've played a few games of it, so it's really, really cool. So yeah, everybody go check that out. It's actually a really, really cool game. I really like the Warlord game stuff. For anybody that kind of doesn't actually know, so don't get me wrong, like we play an ungodly amount of Old World, but we do play other stuff as well. Like in my local club, we play a lot of historicals too, just because that's something that the guys like to play here. So don't ever feel like you need to be just stuck into one game. Don't get me wrong, like this is our main passion, but you can play other stuff. It's all about fun. Like a lot of people, I feel, forget the fact that this hobby is about having fun, and it really is. You're meant to enjoy yourself, and if that means playing a couple more games as well, then that's awesome.
This is it, and it's all. I feel as well, for the hobbyists out there, you can only paint so many goblins or Empire swordsmen or Pegasus or horse knights before it gets a bit samey. And wouldn't it be nice to have a break to go and paint a sci-fi dude with a ray gun, or go and paint a fancy footballer, or go and really push yourself and paint a period accurate 1944 British soldier, which is genuinely a really difficult thing to do, to get all of the colours really correct and everything. Quite a nice little challenge. So if you find yourself in a rut right now, we're in a big content drought in the old world, you know, pick something new up. Try something new. It's £2. You won't miss it, you know, and you might find something that you really enjoy.
Yeah, or you can just start collecting dwarves, because you'll never get bored of painting different dwarf armies from personal experience.
I think I have, and please someone correct me if I'm wrong, I think I have the singular biggest dwarf library on the internet. I genuinely think I do. Like, and other than like my mini factory, obviously, but like, I think I've got more dwarves than anyone needs or wants. So there's like 600 dwarf listings, like, and there's about another 300 Chaos Dwarf listings on there. So yeah, if you like stunties, I got you sorted. I got all the stunties.
Yeah, I think that's my fault, I think.
It is. Yeah, well, I say your fault. I mean, one of the sculptors that I've worked with for the longest is a White Angel. And that came about because Richie messaged me and he was like, Tom, this is before he had a printer. He was like, Tom, can you print me some of these off? And I was like, these are stunning. Messaged the guy, got contact for it, and then he sculpted Richie as a model, which is cool as hell.
Yeah, for anybody that actually doesn't know, because if you're not in the Discord, there is actually a me model, which is hilarious. I was kind of like greatly honored. The thing is, like, I've never actually painted mine. Do you know how weird the feeling is to paint yourself as a model? Like my just kind of, I don't know what it is. Like my anxiety just kind of wouldn't let me do it. So it's on my painting desk.
Like that's the, and also you'd get so fucking hyper detailed on it as well. Because you'd be like, no, that tattoo's wrong. I need to do it slightly different. And I'm like, my dude, it's in 1/16 scale. It doesn't matter if the runes are right.
Yeah, I know. It's fucking awesome, to be fair. Like, they've even put like my nose ring on it. Like, it's really, really cool. But yeah, that's on Tom's site, so you can go check it out anyway. I just felt a bit too weird to paint myself. But if anyone wants to paint me and send them into the Discord, please do. I'd love to see them.
For the competition we did last time, and again, I'll put this out to the community. Do you want this back? Because I'll happily run this again. We ran a painting competition where it was the Richie model, and it was it didn't get too much uptake, but this time I'm happy to do it again. The winner of the competition gets 2 prizes. The first one is they get their money back if they bought it off the website. Obviously, you're free to enter if you have your own printer and you want to print your own. But if you buy it from me, I'm going to give you your money back. And the second one is it will be the image that I use in the store for the Dowie model forever. So if you guys want that back, please let me know, or let Richie know, and we'll definitely look at bringing that back on, and potentially more as well. I really do want to have a big library of your guys' painted models on the store, because at the moment it's not soulless by any regard, but it would be so much cooler to see all of your guys' stuff on there. It really, really would. I don't want to put my stuff. I don't want to look at my models all day. I want to look at yours.
Yeah, I mean, everything's better with community input, right? Like, that's what makes the Discord such a special space. Like, hearing from everyone, and like, that'd just be awesome to see. So, what's the? Is there any kind of big goals coming in the future for the website, or is it just trying to like gain traction at the moment?
Yeah, so there's one massive goal. I'd really love to become a hub for all the small and medium enterprises who are in the UK at the moment in the hobby world. So I'd love for them to be able to use the website as a collective place to bring people together. Think about it as like a department store of hobby, without having to charge these people eye-gouging prices for it. It's not easy to get into any of the bigger stores. You know, Element's only got so much shelf space. Wayland's only got so much shelf space. And that's understandable for these guys. They've got a lot of things to keep up with. I'm not interested in stocking Games Workshop or Warlord or any of these guys. But if you're a small paint manufacturer, hit me up. I'm trying to get something off the ground with a couple of like movement tray suppliers at the moment. Can't name names because things haven't got fully off the ground yet, but that's one thing we're looking at adding in. Magnetic base supply is another one. So if it's one of like a one-stop shop basically, where we can give back to everyone without anyone having to take a hit. Because like I say, if we get the traction and the viewership back up to the point that it was on Etsy, I make a comfortable amount of money on there. I don't need to make any more, and I'm quite happy for that. And instead, I'd love to push that growth towards other people, because it was one of the singular best things in my life, being able to turn around after 17 years working as a chef and just be like, I'm done. I'm going to go make toys for a living now. Like, that was the best thing ever. And I would love for someone to just be like, do you know what? I'm done. I'm going to go make grass tufts for a living now. That's my thing. Luke's Geek Gaming, Luke's APS, whatever name it went under, he left a massive hole in our hobby when he left. No one's filled that since he's gone. As far as I'm aware, no one filled that gap. Some people tried to keep it up. It didn't work so well. There's been issues with it. So if someone wants to do that, there's gaps in the market for these things. People said to me when I first started doing this, oh, you'd never be able to make money doing this full time. And yes, you can. You just need to make sure that you're pushing a quality product forward and you're putting your customers before your profit. And it works. And that's something. So I'd love to be able to bring other people together. I really would. I'd love for more people to be able to live this dream that I'm living. Basically become Etsy without all the horrible hoops that you have to jump through, but just for hobby stuff, you know? And I'm sure there's enough people who have been burned by Etsy or Amazon or eBay, and they're like, you know what, that sounds quite nice. If it sounds nice to you, let me know. And I'd love to do more.
It'd just be nice to see more companies kind of go down the same kind of path, right? Like, it's just been nice to see. Like I said, like, I've known Tom for years, so it's just nice to see him kind of follow his hobby dreams and start the business. It's great. Like, it's the same for everybody out there that's doing this kind of business. Like, it's just great to see, like, following your hobby passions and kind of going that way. So, tell you what, let's leave this talk a second, and let's go into kind of like a little bit with for the Tom fans, because I know you've got a lot in Australia anyway. So let's do a quick fire one. So, what's your favourite model that you've ever printed?
It's the Bestiarium zombie dragon, Count Testicular. You killed it with a fucking hell cannon.
right. That model's sick. It's really cool. I'll try and get a picture of it up. But basically, so in I don't know if you've seen it. It's fucking awesome. It's like this 3-foot tall, really grotesque dragon. And there's a funny story behind this. So we were playing in a 6th edition tournament a few years ago, and he was just wrecking face with this vampire dragon. And it was in a narrative tournament where if you killed heroes, you collected their weapons. So Tom's hero was just fucking nuts, man, absolutely crazy. And I was running chaos at this event, and I'd literally been tabled, and I had one hell cannon left, which was just being a terror. So those in 6th edition were better in combat than they were shooting. So you just let them go, frenzy, killing stuff. And it was in combat with the dragon. The dragon just couldn't kill it because it was toughness 7. So he just couldn't do the wounds. So he charged a black coach into the side of it, which in 6th edition, black coaches gained wounds for everything they killed. So I think the black coach was up to 25 wounds, something stupid. And then I managed to. I can't remember what I did. Did I kill the dragon? Or was
No, what it was, the hell cannon was for strength 7, so could instantly kill the chariot. And I forgot about this the moment I rolled my impact hits. You insta killed the chariot, which meant no matter what I did, I've just lost the combat by 30. There's nothing I could do about it. I was like, oh, well, and that's my general. Very good, sir.
That was amazing. It was such a good game. Definitely one of my favorite games of 6th. That was awesome.
Yeah, that's my favorite I've ever printed. Sick. Bestiarium, I'm not allowed to sell their models. They don't do merchants licenses, but check them out. They're so cool. So cool.
Yeah, they are really cool. A lot of the armies that Tom uses in his personal games and also at tournaments is the Bestiarium stuff. They're proper sick models. So next question. What is the biggest print fail you've ever had? Because mine have been really spectacular.
This one was really bad. So I had just bought a Saturn IV Ultra, and I didn't know how to use it properly. And for anyone who knows anything about 3D printing, this has got a bed that does that as well as the uppy-downy like this. And I just put a print through, worked fine, put a big one on overnight, and I sell these. It's called the Mega Quake mortar. It's a big rectangle of resin that gets printed. It's huge. It's 12 inches long by about 5 inches wide. It's massive, and it prints in one piece. I put that onto print, and then I see my son dancing, and he's going, and there's no music playing. What the hell is that? It's the printer that has gotten dislodged from itself, and about a 3-inch cube of resin is going through the screen. It has detached itself so aggressively at this point from the circuit board that it's broken through the FEP film, through the screen, and is now ramming itself into the lens underneath it. That was a bad day, that was. I didn't even attempt to fix it. Didn't even attempt to clean it as well. I just unplugged it, put it in a box, and took it to the skip. And I just wrote that one off as I'm a dumb fuck.
Just imagine Baron
it was fully just and I was like, what the? There's no music playing. What is that?
Oh, that's amazing. I mean, I've had some pretty bad ones, but that's pretty horrendous. So for the final quickfire question, what's your dream project? What is your dream that you'd want to print? Is there a specific file that you haven't done yet that you really want to do?
I'd love to work with a sculptor on something. That'd be really, really cool, and come up with something unique. There's a guy that I know called Toby. He has a Cathay line. He also runs a 3D printing company on eBay, sorry. And he worked with a sculptor to design a line of Cathay models where it's like panda bear riders, and the whole army's panda bear themed and turtle themed and stuff. It's really, really cool. Cost him a shitload of money to do it, but it's his. He's the only one who can sell it in the world. And I think that's really, really cool that he got to go through the whole process of it and got to make artistic decisions on it while someone... Because I can't sculpt. I do kit bashing. In the same way that I'm sure many of you can get a lump of green stuff and do a bit of cool shit here and there, but there's no way you're sculpting a whole model. I'm very similar with 3D stuff. So it'd be really cool to work with someone on something and create a bespoke line of models because I love grimdark stuff so much. Like the whole Elden Ring Baroque, just like grim aesthetic. I love that stuff. And if Bestiarium turned around to me one day and was like, Tom, we're going to make a model line just for you that you can sell in the store, I'd be like, oh my God, that's so cool. Yeah, that'd be sick. I'd love that. It doesn't have to be them, anyone like them.
Yeah, no, they are awesome. There. I mean, to be fair, I'm going to just jump in here because I really want to do a dwarf line, just like a Dawiafterdark, like full dwarf range. Like I'd love that, but I'm so technophobic. There's no way I'd be able to do it. So if there's any sculptors out there that want to do a dwarf line with me, hit me up. That'd be amazing as well.
And I'll print it.
Yeah, exactly. Right, so probably we can end it there, mate. Is there anything else that you wanted to kind of shout out while you're on?
So, still got 10% off for a while on the website. You get 15% off if you use Richie's link, which is Dawiafterdark. And if you use his affiliate link, he gets a kickback too. I've made his code stackable, and this is the only place on the internet that I'm making that public. So if you have to get to this point in the video to know that. So if you use Richie's code Dawiafterdark, that stacks with other discount codes. It's the only time I'm saying this. It's the only time I'm going to let people know to try and make people watch up to this point. Yeah, 50 quid 50 quid free shipping in the UK, 150 quid in Europe. Ship all over the world unless you're in a war zone right now. So it is tricky to do Ukraine, but I've managed to get one parcel in there. But if you are in those parts of the world, expect delays. There's nothing I can do about it. I'm very sorry. But yeah, can't ship to Russia at all at the moment. That's not a political decision. That's a not allowed to because I live in the UK decision. But anywhere else in the world, let me know. I want to tick countries off. The furthest I've gone is Japan so far. I want to do Brazil. So if you live in Brazil, let me know. I'll sort you out a deal just to say that I've done it. I just want to tick countries off a map at this point.
Nah, love it. Right, thank you so much for coming on, mate. Basically, the whole point of this video was just to get Tom on and show support, really. Like I said before, he's one of my best mates, so he's just try and help him out. He's had a pretty rough time with the Etsy page going down, so just kind of any support that could go over would be amazing. And I know a lot of people out there use him for their models and have bought models from him before on Etsy. So if you do want anything in the future, just please go and have a look and just try and support him if you can, because it's pretty rough to get your livelihood taken away. But hopefully it can just continue to grow and stuff. Just before we go, I'd like to say a massive thank you to all of the Patreon supporters as well, and also the channel members. Just thank you so much. And also everybody that I met at Salute over the weekend. I had a few pictures with people and just got to talk to some awesome guys. So it was a pleasure meeting you all. Now, this is going to be the best bit of the entire video, and this is why it's worth waiting for this long. Tom, show them your new haircut, mate.
Oh yeah, shave my head.